NTR podcast.
On today's episode,
We'll never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. USA!
An angry mob stormed the prison.
Oh no.
And killed them with their bare hands. And they ripped them limb from limb. Mob shot.
God.
Like zombies. And they apparently ate bits of them.
Oh God.
There was a bit of cannibalism went on. People took eyeballs out of them and ate them and stuff like that.
Oh, go on. Keep going.
Well, no, there's a point at which with willies as well. Some willies are so big that they're funny.
Mash bukkake sounds fantastic, by the way. Isn't that the new Toby Carvery feature they're doing for 2021?
And so, will you be paying £5 extra for the mashed bukkake? Yeah, I fucking love that. That with the cauliflower cheese.
And now, from Liverpool, around the world on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time to open your mind, expand your outlook, and occasionally soil yourself with delight.
This is the NTR podcast with Dylan Evans and Graeme Smith.
How's your brew?
It tastes like 2021, Graeme. I'm not going to lie.
Tastes like 2021.
Expected better.
Oh,
but
it'd be better if you had a gold bar.
It's still as bitter and horrible as before.
I just bought some racist chocolates in.
So McVitie's Gold bars?
McVitie's Gold.
Yeah, they're lovely then.
So I got these at the weekend.
Yeah.
And I saw them and I thought, God, remember them and all the racist chocolate and like...
Did you seem a bit... It's weird calling McVitie's racist.
No, we're not saying McVitie's are racist. It's just that like...
specifically. Yaz always says like weird stuff to me. She's like...
Certain products.
Yeah, that seems a bit racist. Mr. Kipling. She is adamant Mr. Kipling's racist. Who is Mr. Kipling? When was he from?
Yeah.
You know, Pound Bakery. She always says that a little bit. I'm like,
that looks a bit racist.
Sayers more so than Greg's. I'm like, yeah. I completely agree. If one of them was going to be a bit of a closet racist, it wouldn't be Greg's. I think Greg's would be dead sound.
Greg's would be fine.
Greg's would be
then again, we don't have any evidence that none of these things are really racist. No. It's just a lot of it's just in the design, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Taxis, they were a biscuit back in the day.
Were mad.
Blue ribbons, they were all blatantly racist.
Well, Yorkies were sexist. Are we just meant to forget that happened? The Yorkie bar, not for girls thing. No one's...
I thought that was fine at the time, and now funny. Looking back, it looks pretty bad,
I remember it being at like I can remember getting one at the match once when I must have been about 8 or 9. Went with my dad and got a Yorkie, and it was like not for girls and all stuff, and I was like, it's a chocolate bar.
Okay.
It's a chocolate bar. And that's just something no one brings up anymore, that Yorkies were...
Women love chocolate. I hate to generalise, but women love chocolate. Am I right? I don't know.
Ladies!
Ladies? Are you anyone's? Are you anyone's for a few Cadbury
ladies will be
roses?
up dancing now with the nice frocks on. We love chocolate, Graeme. You know us so well.
But why would you go, right, we've got a chocolate bar here. It's thick, it's chocolatey. It's good. It's good, that Yorkie. Why would you go... But I'll tell you what, I don't want 51% of the population.
Get them gone. They're not having their paws on this.
This is a niche chocolate bar. This is solely for... Do you know when I was a kid, they used to sell Yorkies? They weren't quite as out there with, not for women.
They weren't sexist.
No, they just used to say Yorkies. These are... And I don't know if it was said outright or it was just in the sort of imagery used in the adverts. Yeah. These are for lorry drivers. Only lorry drivers... have Yorkies, and my dad drove a lorry, and I was like,
always had Yorkies in.
Instead of a cig, didn't smoke, but he always had a Yorkie hanging out of his mouth,
lighting it. Like a big cigar.
The image now, lighting a Yorkie.
Imagine
that much of a man. Winston Churchill.
Can you just pull over, sir? You shouldn't be operating heavy machinery. I don't think he's smoking chocolate. Leave him. So yeah, the coffee, Graeme, tastes a bit like 2021.
So yeah, well, it was made in a rush in the machine.
Yeah, it was. As was 2021. We've rushed here. 2020 didn't happen. Feels a bit like that. Like it kind of like, obviously it happened. It felt like it lasted forever, and it's all we know. It's a new realm that we've entered, but quite quick. It feels like we're in about July of 2020.
Doesn't it? It does. It does, doesn't it? And where are we now? We're how far into January are we? I feel like we're halfway through the year already. But we're not, because I feel like time goes really fast sometimes, really slow sometimes. And you know, when you say that, a lot of other people go, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you're not right. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but maybe time has gone faster. I've thought this.
Okay. No.
Have you ever thought that? A bit like...
No, never, because it makes no sense. Time is just like a made-up thing, isn't it?
It's not a made-up thing. Time...
Go on. It's pretty made up. I think this with my cat all the time.
All right, numbers are made up. Fucking
numbers are made up. Yeah, but my cat has no perception of time. He's not sitting there going, I'll have a sit down for 20 minutes and then I'll...
No, he doesn't
it's
count
only
it, but he knows
structures
He knows it's a while.
Yeah, but he won't deal in
doesn't count
numbers.
his fucking kitty cat.
So go on, why is time been going faster anyway? What's happened? The earth been spinning quicker?
No, I've just noticed a lot of people all go, oh, it has gone quick, hasn't it? And then they generally tend to be saying it at the same time.
They're having some enthralling chats by the sound. But it has gone quick.
What if it has? What if the Earth's spinning slightly faster on its thing? I don't know what controls it all.
If only someone was keeping track of this. Some of the time.
Get me someone in Greenwich
with a stopwatch.
Get me the speaking clock. Tell you what, that's a thankless task, isn't it? Are they even on minimum wage? That was the first job that was outsourced. Apparently back in the day they used to be like, they didn't answer racist chocolate bars. Hello, speaking clock?
Yes.
Well, it's precisely 5:51. Beep. Now it's all computerised.
I wonder how accurate the time is. Do you ever think that?
That's the
honest time.
On the clock?
The proper one.
What do you mean by the honest time?
Surely we're hearing.
What?
I always think we're a bit out because they reckon we're out with months already. Don't do like way off.
But the atomic clock keeps it's like a... I don't know how it works.
No, I don't do that.
Instead of a battery, it splits the atoms. It's very wasteful.
And there's the time. Lovely.
Yeah, the atomic, like in Greenwich. I don't even know if it's in Greenwich, but that's where Greenwich Mean Time comes from, isn't it?
From Greenwich, the place?
Where the observatory is in London, yeah, that's why it's
GMT?
Yeah, Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah, well, where was the Greenwich Meridian?
Well, you're just saying words.
The GMT, the BG.
I'm not
GMT.
covered in Latin like you are, Graeme. All your Latin tattoos. Latin enthusiast.
I'm a big Latin fan. I love all the dead languages.
Yeah, it is a good one.
So, yeah, the Greenwich in London is where that 00 London.
We keep the time.
We've got it. And if you want to speed time up, go in. And then the Earth goes slightly faster.
It's hands operated, isn't it? What is it?
Yeah,
winds up. It's a wind up. It's time. There we go.
Yeah, it's like a mangle. And time goes through.
So where are we now? We're like January the something. Are we still in the 5th? The teens, or is it 20th something? I'm trying to ask when.
But in the 20s?
20s. Oh god. No, yeah. January the 20th. What date is it today? I don't even know.
Oh, shite. Monday, the 18th of January.
Do you think I got the decade wrong?
What the fuck's he going on about?
We're in 3034 now.
Like, what are we? Are we in the noughties still? I'm like, but it does sometimes like 5 years ago in the noughties.
Time is going quick. Graeme said it himself.
God's there with the mangle.
Let's just get these humans out the way. They're taking the piss here. So yeah, I'm just wondering, when is it acceptable to keep me deckies up till?
Why?
I've still got mine up. I'm sorry to people listening that are offended by that. I know there'll be people now who'll be switching off and throwing stuff at their screens.
Deleting the download.
Oh, what? He's still got his deckies. I've still got my deckies up.
It's a bit disgusting.
It's odd now. So like a few weeks ago, like January the 9th, it was still all right. It was like, it must be some of the last ones up. And then we keep going, we'll do it at the weekend.
When are you meant to take it down? What was the date?
Don't they say like a week after Christmas, or some do it even quicker than that?
12 days after Christmas?
Is it that? Is it the 12 days of Christmas?
12 days after January the 4th, 5th? You're already way over.
Oh my God, I'm so far gone. I read one thing though, that in like the old England Christian church
I know
something, you know what this is as well. Isn't it February the 1st you're meant to take it down? Or something along those lines.
Well, you might notice that if you go into, you can't at the moment, if you go into an old church, this is from the Church of England, Dill. You're going to get off with us.
The fellas, they love listening. Shout out to them.
Shout out to the Archbishop of Canterbury.
He loves the show.
He does. So they said that in churches, if you go into like an oldie churchy, up until like February the 2nd, they will have still got the fucking tree up and everything. I know all my name went, they're scruffy, aren't they? That's a fucking disgrace.
Get that down. No, I want to keep mine up. It is still quite nice. It's a nice big lamp. That's all it is. It's half a tree, half a lamp.
That's not why you've not taken it down. You're not taking it down because you can't be fucked.
Oh, it's so much effort.
It is a lot of effort.
Do you know how much effort it is?
Is it a real tree?
No.
Right.
It'd be, how dead would it be?
Can I tell you something now? My dad rang me the other week, right? And my dad is currently not. He's getting better, like. He's in hospital with COVID. And as he was about to get really ill, I think he knew that he didn't want to have his deckies up for the entirety of January, and he probably knew he was going to go into hospital. He rang me, and I went, "What are you doing? Are you resting?" Because we're trying to make sure you don't have to go into hospital. no, I'm taking this fucking tree down. It was a real tree. And I went, Dad, you can barely breathe. And I went, please go to bed. No one was in the house, by the way. It was completely distant. I was miles away on the phone. And he went, I've got to fucking get this down. Oh, I'm sweating so much.
See, I never had that urge.
You got a saw out and just sawed it down. It was a real tree.
See, at least that'd be entertaining. I'd go chainsaw. I'd go mad. I can't really do that with the plastic when the bits flying everywhere.
All the neighbours thinking you've got a victim in.
Yeah, I just don't want to take it down. It's staying up for...
I've got a date that you could take it down. If you want to be proper about this, the Church of England said they used to keep the Christmas trees up till February the 2nd, a Christian holy day called Candlemas. I've never fucking heard of it.
We loved that.
So if you can keep it up till then without any problems. I always got told, oh, fucking hell, if you haven't got it down by 12 days after Christmas, then you might lose a limb.
What?
No, we didn't say that.
Oh. I thought that was like a done thing.
You were proper hooked in there.
We're the limb police. Oh, God.
All right.
Is that a reef on the front door? No.
So that's when you can keep it up till. You'll like this. You don't want to miss that deadline though. On how far out? You've got another 2 weeks.
Maybe 2 weeks. Yeah. If anyone else has got theirs up, please get in touch so I don't feel like I'm losing my mind by myself. Has anyone else got the deckies up?
And if you don't take them down by the 2nd of February, according to a 17th century clergyman,
they're always trustworthy.
Yep.
I
Robert
take on
Herrick.
I always take my advice from this.
You might be visited by a goblin.
Okay.
That's what they said. So all this
I'm
is
fine with that.
being visited by a goblin.
Do goblins have COVID? Has it been socially distanced for 2 weeks prior to entering my house? Is it tested?
This is true.
Can I test the goblin? I'm going to keep it up to see if a goblin turns up.
Do you keep it like a lateral flow test handy when a goblin calls?
Yeah, can I just throat fuck you, please, goblin? That's the weirdest. There's the start of the show. That's going to get clipped up for the start. That is.
Excuse me, goblin. Can I throat fuck you, please?
Before you come in. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got a bit of time. You could always just leave them up till next year.
No, I'm going to see if a goblin turns up. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
But I left mine up till probably, this is horrible, probably around that date. And this was, it was 2 years ago.
Oh, so you have done this. You've been as foul as I have.
Steve, who was several miles that way, I don't know why I did that. Steve, him, indoors.
Hey.
We didn't used to live with each other. He used to live in London, and I used to go down and see him like most weekends. And then they got through all January, and I'm at this little flat, one bedder.
Yeah.
And where was it? Old Swan.
Lovely.
I loved it. It was cheap. Do you know what the rent was on it?
Go on.
215 quid a month. And I thought, am I fuck paying any more than that? I was fine there. Yeah. But I couldn't be arsed cleaning up a lot of the time. Steve used to be like, Graeme, you haven't cleaned the bathroom in 4 months.
This is technically squalor, I believe.
This is squalid. You're living in squalor. And he was like, come on, you've got to take it down now. It must have been February the 1st or 2nd. And there was no excuse.
Was it only a little dinky one as well in the little flat?
The works,
little
mate.
6-inch one.
It was the works.
Was it?
I had all lights around there. Like I had a bookcase with just some clever books in it.
Lovely.
And I put some lights around that. And I thought, I'm not taking that down because it's depressing in here other than them lights.
That's fine.
But you've got a lovely house. You've got a lovely house. I lived in squalor. You live in Mossley Hill, dear.
No. The postcode is I'm joking.
No, but she does. She's moved up. Did she?
She's moved up.
She's moved up. He's moved up in the world.
Well,
from Bootle to Mossley Hill.
It's weird living in Mossley Hill. It's genuinely odd.
What's the differences? What do you notice? This is the differences between growing up in a normal Bootle as a normal working
Mossley Hill is
class
quite posh.
area.
Mossley Hill is quite posh. That's something I've noticed more than anything. How everyone acts is a bit different.
You just like the house. You're a bit of a home bird. Anyway,
I didn't really care about the area. That's the thing. It was only once I'd moved there, people were like, "Oh, it's lovely around there." I was like, "I don't really care. I'm going to be in most of the time anyway."
Is everyone like getting about with a coffee and all? Oh, morning.
Yeah,
morning.
Everyone's dead nice like that. And at first, I was a bit like, "Yes,
fake.
It's fake as fuck, and we know it is." Give me Bootle Strand anyway. People are a bit real.
Yeah, I'd rather get snarled in the Pound Bakery.
I think I would. I think that's what I've boiled down to. I'd rather get snarled. I'd rather get honestly snarled than fakely let on to.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know what you're up to?
I'd rather have a bit of honesty. It's that, hi, morning, in the Jeep. And I'm like, fuck off, mate. Throwing stuff.
Yeah, when your lucky bike going past. Keeping it real.
Yeah. Wheeling, popping wheelies like a proper scally.
The thing you'll notice there was like, when I was a kid, my mum and dad, we lived in Crosby for like 10 years, and my dad always pointed out, my dad's from Bootle, and he always used to point out, they fucking won't let you in here. If you're in the car trying to get into queue in traffic in Crosby, and you go to loads of like, not posh suburbs, but a little cut above, clip-on tie.
Yeah, clip-on ties.
Clip-on tie country, and they're just twats when they're driving, they're very selfish, they'll put you up.
There's a lot of that. My little brother, well, obviously we're from Bootle, he went to school in Crosby, and they asked him a question, and he went messing. They were like, so, during the Bootle Strand, do you treat that as like your city centre, like your town?
So cheeky.
And I was like, oh my God, like that's what even like Crosby thinks of Bootle.
Oh no, that's the posh kids in Crosby. I didn't go to that. I went to school miles away. That school he went to says outside.
Posh, dead posh.
It says founded, whatever. Can I say the name of it or not? Maybe not. Such and such school for boys, founded 1670.
How old's that? 1670?
They defo battered people back then, didn't they? 1670.
Look at them. Weren't they only just battering your kids? I have this conversation with people all the time. My granddad goes on about if like a kid was just caught swearing in the street, any stranger could just go and smack this kid when like he was growing up, which is obviously like maybe the 40s.
Yeah, it must have been
50, like beginning of the 50s. And I was like,
open season.
Does that not make your blood boil as a parent? How did parents just let that sort of happen? Like teachers were battering kids, weren't they, up until like what, the 60s, 70s?
I had a board duster thrown at my head at school by a teacher.
Mad.
Yeah, but I'm not like old enough to that have got like the birch, but they were the old
proper,
school.
What is it, the cane?
Yeah, the cane. They used to
how did parent, if I found out
the
like,
leather strap.
If my kid was getting battered by the teacher, does that not make you angry as a parent? I don't know. I haven't got to get any kids.
I almost think now if someone's enjoying it, get teachers that are a bit sadistic, and you're enjoying battering that kid. I thought you're weird. There's something going on with you upstairs.
How many of them remained in authority their entire teaching career, though? They just battered kids for the laugh.
Never got it. Did your mum or dad ever tell you about when they got battered when they were kids at school? My mum did. She was 5 and didn't eat her lunch, and she's cried because she was new to the school. So there's fucking none. My mum always goes. They built this horrible image of their past. Oh, she battered me, and my nan was a cleaner at this school and saw it. My nan went fucking mad.
Oh, there you go. See, that's the reaction.
Parents have always felt like that.
But why didn't they speak up about it then?
Because everyone was.
Under the thumb.
I don't want to say my nana was under the thumb, but everyone was kind of like, stick in your lane. Don't fucking put your head up. Don't be like. It sticks in families now. I mean, how many families get embarrassed when their kids keep your head down? Don't be doing that ballet dancing. Anyway, I don't know if you saw. I really wanted to talk to you about this because I think every now and again there is a story, and it's like this has been made for us.
Oh, good. Oh dear.
They made this for us. So there's and you remember when you were a kid, like cartoons, and you didn't get the jokes in them and all that. Yes, generally,
there's loads of that going on. I think any film that you enjoyed as a kid, rewatch it. Like I've been doing that recently as an adult. Like all the old Shreks, all them. There's so many. All the old SpongeBobs are full of innuendos.
Like what?
Nose poking out the floor, and they're like, I hope that's his nose. Like clearly could be his knob. But there's loads that I never seen as a kid. And Shrek 2, full of them, all drug jokes, drug use and stuff like that.
That's so funny. You mean, we were talking about this the other day when the cat, whatever is Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots gets pinned up against the wall. It's like catnip, and it's like a little 20 bag.
It's not mine. I think it's meant to be cocaine.
No, it's catnip, whatever it is.
I think the way they make it look like cocaine.
Yeah, I think they do. And I never got onto that as a kid. Ever. I was like, oh my God.
You wouldn't as a kid,
obviously, but that's like that's the sweet spot, isn't it? Why have we found one of them? Is there another funny one of them? Is that what you're bringing up?
Well,
go on.
This is a kid's cartoon in I think this is in Denmark.
Oh, the Danish are good.
They're boss.
They've got in trouble for a few of the cartoons. Let's not talk about that. Move on. They upset a big religion once.
Oh God, anyway. yeah. Well, they did do that. Yeah,
they're like that with the cartoons, aren't they?
Yeah, well, this is a bit different. So they've got a new cartoon, and we'll bring pictures up on the screen. So this is a man with a massive willy, and he.
And this just happened to have fell across your news feed. This story, did it?
Where have I got the links here?
I've not seen this anywhere, but go on.
I've got links here. So this is reported. The Guardian had it on Lab Bible. Funnily enough, it's on
Lab Bible.
There they are.
So you've been doing your research across this cartoon, I presume.
There's not much to know. It's going to be on a Danish television channel.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the cartoons that probably going to one the little kids can see.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because he's got to get round his difference. His difference is he's got a big willy.
Could he not have used something else? Can he not have a big nose? big he is.
I think it's funnier for kids if he's got a big willy, because it's not. This is totally desexualized. He does tricks with it, and he puts out fire with it. And
this doesn't sound desexualized.
It doesn't look okay.
He can do tricks with it, kids. Look, it's still weird as fuck. Oh, he's putting out a fire. No, he's fire safety covered. It's not perverted.
He's giving something back. Look.
I bet he is.
There he is. So he's got like this stripy little suit on. He looks a bit like Where's Wally, and his willy is like. How long do you think his willy is?
I don't know. You've got the facts and figures.
Well, I'm just trying to turn this into
6 foot. Is it like another human?
Yeah.
Is
it
it
a hose? Dead long.
Right.
And
no, go on, keep going.
Well, there's a point at which with willies as well, that when some willies are so, and it's even me saying this, some willies are so big that they're funny.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, no, you can't deny that.
That's been photoshopped. Oh, it hasn't.
Oh, God.
And yeah, it's just like a big long, like a hose pipe, and he sort of like, woo, tickles people.
What kind of tricks have you? What do you?
I haven't watched the cartoon.
What do you think then? You're selling it to us.
Sort of tricks. I don't know. Well,
lassoing like a cowboy.
Puppetry.
Puppetry with what? His own.
Yeah. That's been done.
Where does he make it talk?
I don't know. Listen, we all know there could be a mouth made. Yeah. Or a nose.
This just doesn't sound appropriate for
kids. For kids. Well, when I was a kid,
yeah,
I'm thinking through, there were shows that may have had hidden meaning like you were talking about. I'm going to go further back because I am 10 years older than you. Bodger and Badger.
It's a good name.
Did you? I think we had a brief conversation.
Yeah, I faintly recognise what they look like, but I'd never seen it.
Thing is, though, everybody knows that Badger loves mashed potato.
Badger loves mash.
He loves mashed potato.
Okay.
And he loves getting it all sloppy and throwing it at people, and a big sloppy load of white mash all over someone's face. And they have fights with it. So some scenes are just like mash bukkake, basically.
Mash bukkake sounds fantastic. Isn't that the new Toby Carvery feature they're doing for 2021?
And so will you be paying £5 extra for the mash bukkake?
I fucking love that.
I'll have that with the cauliflower cheese.
Oh, go on, the mash bukkake. Is that what it looked like then? I'm sure you could... Oh, little splatty moments.
Yeah, it was all splat based. Even the logo, Bodger and Badger, was like...
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Like when we did that TikTok and we got the design guy to pretend there was all lube over the logo. It was like that, but for kids on daytime. And the family nest, that was another weird one.
The what?
So there was this will make perfect sense. There was a family. There's not just one Loch Ness monster. There's a family of them and they're all animated, right?
Well, theoretically, if the Loch Ness monster was real, you wouldn't be alone. That wouldn't make any sense as a species. So this is
family.
This is scientifically probably a bit
all with a bit what?
Like up to scratch. This sounds spot on.
They've all got thick Scottish accents.
Okay. Well, it's up that end. Yep.
So yeah, and they're all dressed Scottish, and they go out and have adventures and stuff and help people. Not once do they attack a member of the public. They do get quite a bad rep, really.
The Loch Ness monster.
Monsters. So
monsters. They get a bad rep. Monsters.
They do.
Yeah, they do. They're monsters.
Really though.
Has a monster ever hurt you? No.
And if it has, give us a shout, because I tell you what, we will have you on.
No. If any monsters ever. No, I don't know.
So yeah, man with big willy, and I'll check that out. Actually,
what was the innuendo with the Loch Ness monster thing?
Well, it was just a mad show.
Oh, there wasn't any innuendo.
There wasn't any innuendo.
You just wanted to say
I just wanted to bring it up because it was a show that was on round Bodger and Badger. It made no sense.
See, there was a thing of cow and chicken.
Any innuendo with the family nest. I want to find some and get back to you, right? Sorry.
You have to do some research. Cow and Chicken used to be on Cartoon Network. I don't know if you remember that back in the day, Boss. They used to eat pigs' asses. I don't mean like that. As in, it would be like a. I need to picture. It's like it looks like a football, but it's a pig's bum.
So you got a pig's ass.
Scran the ass. These various animals would scran the ass of a pig. No, it was like it looked like a basketball, but it was a pig. A pig's ass. And I used to think for years, right, that was like it was an innuendo, but it wasn't. It meant yum yum pig's bum. And like what you say as a kid. God. Yum yum pig's bum.
What you thought as a kid that was?
I thought like ass.
Ass eating.
No, I didn't necessarily think ass eating, but I thought like, what? There must be something like more to this I don't get, so I didn't question it. No, it was yum yum pig's bum. And the mum in Cow and Chicken, by the way.
What about her?
She was so fit. You never seen her face. She was one of them.
Right.
I'm sure she was like ginger. She had like these red locks, like red dress and all the time. They were always stupidly thick. Like, I think white kids have grew up with like a warped expectation of women's bodies. There's all these cartoons. Mrs. Incredible from The Incredibles as well.
That's true. And does that always do that for you when you just see the bottom bit of the...
That's it. If the bottom bit's good enough, go old school Tom and Jerry. In the dressing gown and the slippers.
Oh, it's the rolling pin that does it.
I used to be sitting there like that, watching that as a kid, rock hard.
Just paused.
Mum, get out. Tom and Jerry's on.
What's that coming from? Do you genuinely find that a bit? You do a little bit. You wouldn't have said it. You do.
Oh, no. I think when you're watching certain cartoons, it's like a kid. Space Jam. From Space Jam, that Lola bunny. They make them all thick and sexy. They know what they're doing. They're all curvy.
What about Lois or Family Guy? Or that isn't for kids.
Marge with her hair down. A young Marge before she's got like the 6 foot hair. Marge Simpson with her hair down, like in the bath. Marge Simpson in the bath. It doesn't get much better.
How long did it take her to do that weave as well?
It's madness, isn't it?
Yeah, that's...
Well, like when you see her sort of grow. Like she has it as a kid and it's tiny.
When you see her sort of
I'm a Simpsons super fan. You see Marge's hair get bigger, and then at teenage years she's got it all down and she's like the fittest she's ever looked.
And then
Lois is fit.
Lois, what is it you find fit about Lois?
Shouldn't make that noise. No. What does that sound like for people that have just listened? Talk to me about Lois. Go on.
Do it again and we'll compress it.
That's disgusting.
But it gets worse when it's louder.
Lois is, I don't know. Lois has got a banging buzz.
You've not seen it?
Yes, you have. You see it enough. Brian knows what he's up to. I think the fact that she's with Peter, so she should be doing better.
She should be, but sometimes it's not exactly about what a person looks like. Have you seen their sex life?
Oh, no, that is true.
That one where they're like...
He's all strapped on.
It's the sexy grimace. Do you remember the grimace off McDonald's?
Oh, yeah.
That one where he goes,
yeah.
what's the key? I love you.
Yeah.
Slap. I was like, see, they're having some mad sex and she ain't getting that off everyone.
Futurama.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of that. You fancy the woman out of that?
Leela, the Cyclops. I fancied her for years.
Fancied the Cyclops?
Yeah, she was fit. She had purple hair and one eye. Don't know why. I'm watching these as kids, by the way, like... 8,
Did you really fancy them? You would have
not fancy as in like I can't get enough of them, but just acknowledging them as like yes, this woman. Yes,
this woman.
When the emotions must have been so confusing in my head.
I don't even know how I felt about that when I was a kid. Like,
did you not have? You must have had some. You were
woman, because did people tell you woman? Well, a woman.
Yeah,
you're gay weird. Woman. And you go, okay, kid, woman. Right, and what's her off the X-Files? Who's she's Margaret Thatcher in The Crown.
Okay, now.
This is years ago. Maggie. Tell you what, as a toddler, when I remember, right, I remember I was alive and I can remember Margaret Thatcher being the Prime Minister as a tiny kid. Imagine me as a kid like that in a nappy. Oh wait, tell you what,
the Iron Lady.
Talk to me about tax cuts. Gillian Anderson was in the X-Files.
That's her name.
And I think I just really admired her as a woman.
Yeah.
She held down a full-time job. She was a forensic scientist and a paranormal investigator.
So you thought, that's who I want to marry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
who was your fit? You must have, like, what was the turning point then? Did you have any sort of, like, watching any telly shows or cartoons that were like, I think Gillian Anderson can wait.
Yeah.
Actually.
So when we got music telly, when we got cable.
Yeah. I was going to say.
So you get normal shit telly. And then the only time you're ever going to see anyone that's sexually attractive is if you're going through the catalogue. Oh, frilly knickers, let me tell you. So in my case, it wasn't frilly knickers. No. It was like, fucking hell, a jockstrap. You know, actually, my nan's catalogue wouldn't have had a jockstrap. Imagine that. The jocks. No arse and anything.
Can I have them back, Ray? Thank you.
It would have been when we got cable telly and that, the music channels, The Box in particular.
Oh, yeah.
The Backstreet Boys videos in the late 90s.
Okay.
When they're all like, because I'd never seen anything like that. men overt displays of sexuality from it.
So you'd see. Oh, so you went from almost seeing nothing to like
oiled up men dancing like that.
It would be like maybe the most attractive men of the time.
Yeah.
You must have lost your fucking mind. Yeah.
Can everyone go to bed so I can sweat quick? Yeah, sweat in peace.
Can I sweat in peace in here? Can't you sweat in peace? I remember the music channels being quite a turning point, because I sit on this weird sort of plane of technology, because I'm not quite like the porn generation, like what kids are now. They've got access to porn at such an early age. I never quite had that. I just missed out on that.
Internet? Did you always get the internet checked? Were you always checked?
I'm trying to think when I first watched stuff. Yeah, my internet would go off, the Wi-Fi would go off and stuff, so I just never really dabbled in it until like of a certain age, which I'm glad I didn't, by the way. I remember music channels being...
Yeah, they were.
Being quite something.
Yeah.
Like how you're describing it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Rihanna. I remember Christina Aguilera Dirty.
Oh, it was outrageous.
Yeah, it was like a boxing match or something in between.
Yeah,
and I was like,
sweating and everything.
Yeah, I was like, this is so intense.
Yeah.
So intense. That's all I remember. And then, yeah.
I'm dead.
I was just thinking of other channels. There's other channels available around the music channels. If you just keep going up.
I just feel like there's only so much I can actually say on this because my dad's watching.
Same.
Yeah, and...
genuine. I don't even want to look at the camera. It's like my dad's looking at me now.
Well, he is. You're right, Ian.
Yeah.
So anyway, about them channels, those channels further up.
I need to tell this story. I got caught once, and I wasn't
wanking.
I wasn't. Yeah, no, because I think this is important to tell as well. Because I don't think any of my family believe this either.
I'm not sharing mine.
It was before I'd started any of that. I wasn't quite the man I am today. But I used to just like try and stumble across like these channels, because you'd just see it was all like mostly still images, because it was like £10 a month, and you'd would you ever pay that?
£10 a month?
And it was for like this, you don't know what you're getting, stupid like telly stuff. I just never trusted it. But
you'd have to record it.
These still images, and then the still images at like 10 o'clock would sort of flicker through trailers of whatever video.
This was the preview on the adult channel, wasn't it?
And they'd sort of just roll for like maybe 30 seconds at a time.
That's all you needed.
Yeah, but I wasn't. Yeah,
if that.
So I'm sitting there one night. Everyone's into bed. I'm like, okay, here we go. Get to see.
Were you checking everyone was in bed? Make it.
You know what? It's, yeah.
Not responded to that
nothing,
test.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Check camera 5.
Yeah.
Zone 4.
So I stumble across these channels, and then they all start. So I'm just sitting there. I remember just sitting there watching it, just being like, what is this? You know when you've generally never seen porn, and then you see porn, it's quite like I remember just watching this thing, just like, and then the door handle goes. It's me dad.
Did he say?
Get that off, get to bed now. And I remember my heart just, I was like, I wasn't watching it, I was just flicking through. And he just went upstairs, and then as I'm running to my bed, he's going to me mum, he's watching porn down there. And I remember just like sweating with like embarrassment, like, what are you going to do? I wasn't even, and I wasn't
wanking.
No, I didn't for a while either.
No, I bet it put you off.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. But yeah, that was a moment that I just remember being like, that's engraved in my brain.
Do you know when we got the internet?
Yeah. When?
1996.
Oh my God.
So you would have been 1.
Oh my God.
So we got the internet when I was at school, and it was mine. It was Graeme's internet. I used to look after it. It was mine. My dad had paid, but I knew how everything worked.
Where was it in the house?
In my bedroom. I had a computer.
Suicide.
It's mad, isn't it? But we didn't realise, because no one did really. And then look what happened. So, yeah. I had it in there, and then we got broadband really early as well. So that was dial-up, and we got broadband in about 2000 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, mad.
That is really early.
Yeah, my dad ran a business from home and that, and I used to be, I'll look after the tech, don't worry. And yeah, I was watching like, I didn't know you could see stuff like that. And this is 2000.
You're on it. Go on.
Yeah. It was completely legal, sir. And I remember being like, wow. And every night I would like
get a film, put it on, get your popcorn,
off to bed.
Yeah.
And my dad would come and knock on the door about 10:30 to make sure I was actually asleep, because he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Graeme. And I'd be like, hello. And he'd just burst in sometimes. But yeah, year 2000, 2001 for broadband.
And he was bursting in.
What are you doing in there?
Did he ever burst in?
Yes. There was no secrets in our. I can't go into this. I am not going into this. There was no secrets in that house, right? So they had like as soon as I came out, I started to like, every now and again I bring the old friend back.
Okay, yes.
Graham's got one of his friends upstairs again.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, I didn't give a fuck for quite a while when I was a kid. I was like, oh, well, I'll do what I want. My parents, I don't know how they felt about it.
He loves studying. He's up there studying with all his friends. There was 8 of them last time.
I don't think I'd got away with that. But I mean, my mum and dad didn't know how to deal with that. They were like, okay, is our son. And we know what to do if he's straight. But then you're walking and you're like, well, I'm gay. I've just watched a bit of porn up there. I didn't ever do that. But
it's mad. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, but isn't it funny? Like, imagine being exposed to, like you were saying before, kids now, before they have their first sexual experience.
Oh, they're watching catalogue upon catalogue upon catalogue of
Mash Bukkake.
The lot. Well, having a computer in your room is just dangerous territory. I remember that myself. I got one. This is a terrible story. The last 15 minutes have just been terrible stories, haven't they? I got a free computer from the school. I won an award.
What was the award?
It wasn't really an award. It was like, do you want a free computer? There's 5 for the whole year. And
Absolutely,
I went, please, yeah, I'd love one. Got one. I was like one of the 5. I was like, oh my God. It was like one from the school. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to take it home. And I was like, oh, sick. A proper like desktop computer. So I got it in my room. It didn't have any of the antivirus stuff on it, which I didn't know. So I was just
riddled.
This was the first time I had access to like the internet as it is. I could watch it, and I was in high school, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" So I was watching all these videos and stuff until I come to the point where the computer wouldn't work for viruses.
Really?
Yeah, I'd done a bit of exploring online, and it come to the point where whenever you'd log onto this computer, genuinely maybe 50 pop-ups of.
Oh, I remember that was happened loads at the time.
Everything you can think of.
What year we're talking here?
It'd been like maybe
mid-noughties.
No, later. Maybe like 2009, 2010.
Doesn't happen as much now. It used to be mad.
Then pop-ups, honestly, like, they'd take over your screen and they'd be so graphic. I didn't know pop-ups could be graphic, and I'd be like, I'm not doing that. And I'd be like, you've got ding, ding, ding. And it comes to the point
where maybe you'd like this. You're like, no, that's a bit too far.
I tried wiping it. Didn't work. not just wiping the top. Right. Trust me, I'd done it. So I tried wiping the computer. Nothing had worked. These viruses were like, These hijacked the computer, basically. Right. So I remember just I went to the shop and got a bottle of Lucozade and just poured a bottle of Lucozade on all the fans and down the back of the computer, just like, I don't want anyone to ever know this.
No one can ever see this.
No one can, literally like burying it at the bottom of the ocean.
So I never speak of this ever again.
Lucozade down the back. That computer from school's fucked. They give me a bad one. My family were like, do you want us to have a little check? No, I'll just bin it. Don't worry, it's all sticky. Why's it orange still? To the doctors.
I'd have it melted down.
Yeah, so I've literally destroyed tech to get rid of my internet history.
Oh no,
how bad's that?
It's terrible for like giving people away who aren't aware of it. I'm going to tell you a story now. I'm going to tell you who it's about as well. I'm going to tell you who it's about, but I don't want to put it out there with their name attached to it.
Right. Okay.
Right. Came out.
Yeah.
To family. Family found out was gay.
Yeah.
Cause
yeah.
So Thingy worked for an organisation. Someone worked for an organisation. One of the parents worked for an organisation, and that organisation provided the internet to the home. The dial-up internet. And what it did, because it was very early on, in the late 90s this was, right. It would take note of every single, like an itemised phone bill, like all your numbers coming up, every website that had come up. So this person wasn't even at home at the time, but the family got a thing saying, here's your internet bill, why are you going on so many gay porn sites?
And that was it.
That was what that's what did it.
No.
That's awful, isn't it? Because the thing is, everyone's got needs and everyone has feelings sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're all really embarrassed about them, and to be ratted out in such fine style.
It's the worst case scenario, isn't it?
Horrible,
It's the worst case scenario.
Nowadays, I'd be like, it's me, I was wanking, I'm sorry. Because it shuts it down quickly, doesn't it? The embarrassment is on me for 5 seconds, and then everyone goes, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you're like,
very much so. But that's what I mean. This generation now is now perceiving it completely different. I was like just the cut-off point of that, and I'm glad I was. Really am.
I wonder what that would do to you, though. Like, remembering the first thing I'd ever seen that was a picture of a woman who hadn't...
Who had what?
Not on. Right, so it wasn't just Notting On. I used to think until I'd seen this thing that Notting On, like porn, was like women in swimsuits, like doing Playboy, like in the 1930s, like coquettish poses. This woman, she had a wide,
specifically that part of,
like, I get that I didn't know that was what everyone wanted to see. I was like, good God.
Good God.
Good God.
I'm going to put that back.
Yeah, I did put it back.
The NTR podcast with Dylan Evans and Graeme Smith.
Yeah, we'll come to the Dutch mob in a second.
Right,
I thought we should start on the more recent mob.
It was quite the mob. Is it going to be the mob of the year?
An angry mob?
Now that's what I call mob.
It's only mob. It's only 6 days into January, and we think, and you know,
what?
Competition is stiff.
Yeah.
But mob of the year,
it's got to go to them.
Well, we are in awards season, and I think the angry mob at the Congress. By the way, The Simpsons. Ding dong. It's an angry mob. What did you think of that mob? We were thinking mob of the year.
It felt like watching America crumble. I know it wasn't, but it just sort of, it was everything we dreaded of the Trump administration, just sort of concentrated, personified into like these horrible people that were just, I don't quite know what they were thinking, to be honest, of that mob. There was no, why I like that mob and why it's my mob of the year is there was no real sense of direction.
There's not a lot of competition for mob of the year. It's only the 6th, but I think it's a strong contender.
Yeah, I think they've got to be, because there was no real direction. They didn't really know what they were doing.
I think the only direction they had was when Donald Trump went on the platform. He did a speech. For those who don't know, because some people don't know the whole story. He went on and did this rally on the 6th when Joe Biden, they were confirming that, yes, he's definitely the president.
Yep.
And he held the crowd and he was going, oh, it went on about the election is a lie when it's been proven that he lost it by like 7 million votes.
Not even close, by the way. There's been like several closer like election runs than this. This isn't even one of the closest. How funny is that? That makes it so much funnier.
Hillary Clinton, who a lot of people don't like, put it best when she was in that the presidential debate in 2016. She said, Donald Trump doesn't like it. Basically anything that doesn't go his way, he claims has been fixed. And then he's doing the same thing. It's fixed, it's rigged. He said it in the wrestling when he didn't win the wrestling.
He's done it with, like, he didn't get a Golden Globe, I think, for The Apprentice or something, and he was saying it was rigged, and like he said it countless times.
Whenever he doesn't win anything, it's rigged. So he's got this crowd really fucking overexcited. And remember that Rudy Giuliani, the fucking oddball...
The one who sweated all his hair down onto his face.
After appearing in the Borat film.
So, let's have trial by combat.
Trial by combat.
Oh.
He said that.
I didn't know that.
Trial by combat. So everyone's fucking frothing at the mouth.
Yeah. And these people, by the way, genuinely do believe that he's being robbed. Like, I think that's quite important. They're not
50% of all Republican voters, and they're not all nutters, all Republicans, they're basically the Conservatives, aren't they? 50% of them believe that this election was robbed because Donald Trump told them that.
Like, they are really this angry, like what we've seen. I don't think they're faking it just for that. I think that they genuinely do believe that he's being robbed, which is terrifying.
They've been legit, they've been like revved up.
We'll never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about.
You were right, though. This does all show exactly what was going on. What he tried to do was the election didn't go his way. He tried to overthrow the result of a legitimate election in the US. He tried to violently overtake the Congress after losing an election in order to throw the election. Whatever he had planned after that, I think it's terrifying to think of, because he blatantly had his idea, wasn't he? And it's time for an authoritarian takeover.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that are supporting him are really keen on that. A lot of his supporters, by the way, on that messaging app Parler, they were all boosted off Twitter and that, and they go on this thing called Parler, which has since been shut down. And they found a lot of notes that they were sharing with each other in groups on there, of like,
okay.
And it was how you can radicalise someone who's a bit conservative and make them into a flat-out Nazi.
Oh, right. Well, a Trumpy.
Further than Trump. We're talking they were like, change your username. I'm quoting here, all right, so just in case you get offended by what I'm going to say. Change it from, say, if your name is Heil Hitler 88, change it to something less offensive. And don't go straight in by saying, aren't there all Jewish people in positions of authority and da-da-da-da. Go in gently and be like, God, do you not think it's gone a bit too far, all this Black Lives Matter stuff? Get them there, drag them. They've got a playbook. I've only ever seen a playbook when I was doing a competition for a company.
I was going to say, this sounds disgusting.
Go back to part 1. Good.
I hate this.
It's awful.
Yeah, no, it
and
is.
I thought, I know it's not funny, but it was worth telling you before we talk about the mob. Mob turns up, doesn't it? Do you have some photos of the mob here?
Well, I tell you what, some of the photos and some of the footage we got was simply stunning. I like the big furry fella. The face paint looking like he was from Braveheart.
He's in prison. 32. He's called Jake. His mum has complained because he doesn't get organic food in prison.
Mob.
Who else have you got on the mob?
Who was the old woman just holding the little flag in the corridor? Like the little
on her phone?
Yeah, the little old withered woman. Everyone was like, how the fuck did she get in? How did she just get in?
Well, loads of them going to stop her because she looks like a nan.
Yeah, loads of them now are devastated because they're all going to be arrested, aren't they?
Yeah, because they've just tried to violently overthrow the US government.
I seen one blonde woman. She looked like a Karen. So I'm going to call her Karen. This Karen was like, we're going to get arrested. I think the president should pardon us. Blah, blah, blah. There's footage of her storming the Capitol, filming herself, saying like, it's do or die or like something or death. Because a lot of them were like saying that, like, kill him. They wanted to kill people, didn't they?
They broke in and collections of them wanted to kill the vice president who was only doing his job. He couldn't say no to it. And various members of Congress for the other party. There's 2 parties in America, so the Democrats. The main leader in the House of Representatives is called Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. And they hate her.
Yeah.
She's a congressperson from San Francisco, and they've always hated her. So what they wanted to do was execute Mike Pence and Nancy Pelosi and other like AOC they call her, but she's another congressperson on the same side, and they set up gallows in the car park to execute them.
What do you mean?
They set up an executioner's gallows so they could get Mike Pence and hang him, and they could get fucking all the other ones and execute all of the political opposition. That's what he's drummed up.
But ISIS, this, isn't it?
It's fucking so like ISIS. It's essentially them people are the same as people doing that.
No, 100%.
And anyone who thinks differently wants to examine their head.
They can't see it's mad. It's scary, actually. Like, it's sort of funny seeing a face, Trump, what it is, Trump and his lot, what are they like? It's quite funny at first until you get onto the fact that, these are all Nazis, aren't you? These are all neo-Nazis.
Do you think Trump understood what he was unleashing?
Yeah.
Do you think he did?
Yeah.
Go on. Because what he's unleashed is what he unleashed, and all of this stuff, all the way back to 2016. I don't want to go off Brexit too much, but what it did was it opened Pandora's box. And when you've opened Pandora's box and gone, immigrants, fear of the other, this, that, once you've got all that shit out, it's all dark stuff in everyone's heads. You can't put it back in a box very quickly.
No.
It takes years.
Yeah.
And he's going to fuck. He'll probably be dead by the time all of this
simmers. Yeah, probably.
And by the way, for what he's done, right, surely that's treason, right, where you do what he's done to treason.
People died at the Capitol, by the way.
5 people died, including the policeman. Right, so what he's done is treason. From what I can remember, you can be executed for treason.
Imagine that.
I'm not saying I don't agree with the death penalty, but I think America's got a problem that it needs to remove in him, and I'm not saying he should be executed.
Graeme wants him dead.
I think he should probably be locked up though, because he's they should investigate the fuck out of him, and if he's proven to have done anything wrong for their own good, he needs fucking banging away, because he's corrosive to that country. He's going to rip it apart. So what's more important, his fucking ego or that?
Well, we'll see, won't we? That's the thing. We will see. It's going to be an interesting year, I think, stateside. And what's going to happen? Is it the 20th? When's the inauguration? Is it like tomorrow? Whatever it is. Whenever it is.
Wednesday.
It's this week.
Yeah.
That'll be mad. Because aren't they meant to be storming every capital built? Well, obviously.
Well, they say that.
Them plans got spoiled, didn't they?
They say that, don't they? But then I don't want to bring Alex Jones into it. But it's really, because I've looked at, you sent me this clip, do you think it's mad? Should we play it?
Go on, play a little bit of that, Alex Jones. Get him on.
Season of the false flag. Do not go to capitals armed. Do not be part of the demonstrations on January 20th. It's run by the globalists. There isn't some secret plan to overthrow things so Trump wins. All you're doing is cementing things as domestic terrorists so Biden can pass a new Patriot Act and come after you. So I decry all offensive violence, and I'm asking everyone to understand that Q is an AI globalist Chi-Com big tech system to manipulate you, and that if you think you're on a secret mission for the president, you're wrong. Do not be part of it. Do not go out and attack governors' mansions. Already a bunch of governors' mansions have been attacked. It's been covered up because they want the main attack to happen. That was the simulation.
He's saying don't go.
Yeah, but in the maddest way.
Yeah, well, they're trying to turn it into a conspiracy now, that it wasn't led by the Proud Boys and the MAGA boys. It was led by Antifa.
Globalists.
Antifa and the globalists started it. That's what I mean. They never hold themselves accountable. But then again, big Mr. King leader doesn't either. It's like our politicians, isn't it? Never held accountable. They'll never apologise. They're never wrong.
Because they feel like they're in a different class of people where we don't go, no, we got a slap on the wrist and fired, as opposed to going to prison. So all of them people need to go to prison.
So mob of the year
Mob
is
of the year.
that clueless loss. Let's see what happens. But what are other mobs of the years, Graham? There's got to, because now that's what I call a mob.
There are some smashing mobs there. And here's what I call a mob.
Oh, go on.
And this is, back in the day, the Dutch.
Oh, the Dutch. The Dutch are always on this show, by the way. Shout out to the Dutch.
Shout out to the Dutch.
Shout out to the Dutch.
So they had a prime minister in 16...
Blah, 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 blah.
And he wasn't called prime minister. They called him the Grand Pensioner. He had a different kind of name. And someone who was an important figure in Holland at the time was William of Orange. And he whipped up a mob somehow. God, how you whip up a mob?
Big KitchenAid. Whip up a mob.
I know it's a skill.
Yeah.
Mob whipping.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Hitler was really good at it.
Yeah, he was.
So he whipped up a mob. And when the Prime Minister of Holland, the Netherlands, went to see his brother in prison for some reason, an angry mob stormed the prison.
Oh, no.
And killed them with their bare hands. And they ripped them limb from limb. Mob start.
God.
Like zombies. And they apparently ate bits of them.
Oh, God.
So there's a bit of cannibalism went on. People took eyeballs out of them and ate them and stuff like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, proper.
That's a proper mob.
Ripped apart by a mob. And apparently he was an all right fellow that got ripped apart by the mob, but William of Orange was just very good with the old...
How was it?
Whipping.
Whipping the mobs.
He was a good whipper of mobs.
Would the French not have had a good mob?
Had a few mobs.
Or did they not storm the... What happened with that? What was the French Revolution?
A long history of mobs.
Did they not storm the castle and kill someone? Some royal?
In Russia, the Tsar and his family were murdered at the start of the revolution. Took the royal family and the princes and the kids and everything out and shot them dead and buried them, and they don't know where they're buried.
Oh, no way.
But that's a way of removing a head of state because they're not probably... So evil though, isn't it? It's so... And Mussolini, he encountered a mob.
That was his end, wasn't it?
It was.
That was a shame.
He was...
Yeah, he was. That's an understatement, really, though, isn't it?
Mussolini's friend
Mussolini. He was a bit of a...
If anybody wonders how Mussolini ended, here's a picture to remind you.
Yeah, you can get pictures of that. I found that stunning when...
Hung off a meat hook. I hate to say he had it coming.
Yeah, he did.
But in the case of Mussolini, he had it coming.
He did.
But yeah, that's the thing. Mobs can go either way.
Well, that's what I thought that mob was going to go. Like, when I was watching that, I thought, what if gunfire starts here? Because they were all strapped. How just the access Yanks have got to guns is the maddest ever thing. I always say it to my American cousin. He can't get over it. Just, like, they were storming a Capitol building with, like, machine guns. Because I thought that was, like, the army. I was like, oh, they're sending the army in, and then in a MAGA hat. And I was like, oh no,
that's a militia group.
That's the civilians. I was like, this is terrorism. I was just like, I'm watching terrorism, but I haven't seen it addressed as that once, which is quite mad, isn't it? If they were like, say it was hundreds of brown people with guns storming the Capitol, I think it'd be classed as terrorism.
Imagine what he would have done. Do you know those people had the audacity to talk outside the White House? I remember he had his photo opportunity outside the church.
And the Bible, very Nazi-esque. There was absolutely stunning similarities between him and Hitler there.
A lot of them people who are supporting him, a number of them people, when you get down to the roots of where they're coming from, they're coming from pure fucking, like, the darkest part of the right wing. It's horrible. Anyway, that's what was last year's mob. That was this year's mob. It's the 6th. Did we have any good mobs last year?
We had the anti-vaxxers. They turned into a mob sometimes, didn't they? I remember them going to the testing sites, shouting all stuff. That was funny. Mob.
It's not real.
The virus isn't real, guys.
See them doing that outside St. Thomas's Hospital in London, which is one of the main COVID places, and doctors are coming out fucking shattered after a 13-hour shift. There's all people inside dying, and they go, it's not real.
It's not real. Idiots. I seen one. My favourite thing of all the anti-vaxxers lot was they set up like posters, didn't they, for like, this is our march. And on one of like the posters, it said, bring an umbrella to stop the spy planes. And I was like, what? They thought they were being watched by spy planes, and they're all unlocking the phones with Face ID. They're all scanning the.
Yeah,
that's what drove me mad about them.
Organising on Facebook.
That's what I mean. It's like, you don't have a fucking clue. Yeah, Facebook, the irony of that, the worst one for like harvesting data.
I remember being outside Home and Bargain in Liverpool City Centre, popped in for some essentials.
Oh, some bits.
And they all marched past. I wasn't expecting it, and it was the maddest crowd. It's a mad crowd.
It was a mad crowd, but I could have predicted the crowd, I think.
Yeah, but when you see it, and you're like, oh, yous exist.
Yeah, it's horrible to see.
This is what it's like when you all get together.
It stinks. It fucking stinks.
So this year's already got off to a bit of a
stinker.
Bit of a stinker of a start. Fingers crossed it'll get better. Oh no!
What? What's happened?
You keep reading this thing about did China do it?
Oh, Graeme. Did China do what?
You know.
All of this. I mean,
this next time, because we're nearly an hour now, so I think this is one for next time. But
yeah,
this is a conversation I want to have fairly, only because I don't think China did do it. It's just,
that's how everyone feels. I think it's not that China did it. It's just.
Well, it's like the high street. This has accelerated the demise of the high street, so it probably has accelerated the demise of the US as well. Maybe we should look no more into it than that.
Yeah, true. Let's delve into some of the facts and figures next week. Let's do that.
Would you like a quick?
So we're finishing this week's episodes with a tarot card reading. Yeah. So for people who don't know what tarot cards are, because I don't know if everyone will, to be honest, what are they?
They're like used by mystics.
Proper mystics, though.
Yeah.
The proper fellas.
Yeah, and I've used these and stuff got so right that I was terrified.
So I don't really believe in much of mystical stuff, but you done one reading once, and it was painfully accurate.
I used the Celtic cross.
You've done it for a few other people as well, and it's been stupidly accurate.
Well, so why don't we're going to shuffle these cards and we're going to boil this down to one card that's going to sum up 2021. What are you reading?
For me, I just want to look at the box. It's mad.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mad box, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got off Amazon.
Other companies are available.
So Shuffly McGee, it doesn't show you what some of these cards are. So
what? It's like there's something of cups.
Ace of Cups.
10
of Wands. Queen of Swords. 3 of Wands. Devil. Hermit. 7 of Wands. Loads of stuff like that. 10 of Swords. That doesn't look good. He's got 10 swords in his back. And he's having a bad time there.
And a creepy thing about these is we actually tried to film a tarot card reading for the last episode, the Christmas special. Nothing died.
Tits up, didn't it?
Everything died. The telly died. Everything conked out. And we've never known anything like that.
We're going to do a one-card summary for 2021. Have a quick shuffle here.
Oh, got this wrong.
Shuffle it and just think about 2021.
2021, right. So it's going to be a year of...
Stop trying to say what type of year it's going to be. Just fucking shuffle. Don't look at them.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's 2021. Can't believe it's here.
Mad, yeah. I think that's enough.
One more, okay. One more for good luck.
And
for good fucking measure.
Pick me a card out and just hand it to me down so I can't see what it is. And this is going to sum up the year we're going to get.
Okay. I picked that one with all of my might.
I don't think that's bad. It could have been...
Oh, what have we got? What have we got?
We got the 10 of... Where are we?
Where are we?
We're on there.
The 10 of what? Where is it?
The 10 of Wands.
The 10 of Wands?
Oh, there we go. We had that for a sec. The 10 of Wands there. And that's quite a positive... It looks like a lot of hard work to be done. He's gone out to collect his wands.
It does. Wands.
Sum it up by...
I thought you meant wands.
No. He's gone out to collect his number ones. The one harvest.
A bunch of piss. Okay, so he's carrying. So this looks like a lot of effort,
but it looks like it will get us somewhere.
No, it looks like 10 sticks. None of 10 sticks ever got us anywhere.
Right, here's what we could have. Right, so that's what we got.
Yeah,
the vibe is good off that. I'm going to write at the bottom of the screen in depth what this means.
Okay, that's okay. That's not too bad. That's all right.
Bad at all.
It's all right.
But we could have been, and I pulled this out for one of our friends when we did a reading. I almost don't want to pull out the card because I feel like but you could, like, they are 3 of Swords. I'm going to try to find you one that's really bad that would shit you off if you got. There you go. The Emperor is quite good.
Oh, he's posh. So what did you pull out for your mate that was a stinker? Didn't you do one?
The Devil.
Oh.
The Devil and the Tower. So our mate
Yeah.
Bless her. God bless her. She was moving into a house with her ex.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, how's it going to go in the new house? And I'm like, let's do a reading at work. Mm-hmm. The devil. The tower. The devil is a nightmare. The tower is literally the worst card you could get. The tower is basically, it's a tower on fire with lightning. I can't find it because I'm going through an entire
Don't get it out. If it's that powerful, keep it in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't want to see it.
Put it back.
So go on, and then what happens?
Her life fucking fell apart. And she moved
because of these cards.
I just read them and I was like, okay, so this isn't always bad. And it's not always bad. It can mean you. And she's happy now, so it wasn't bad, but it means
for the foreseeable,
it's fucked. But that to me looked like,
so 2021 is going to be hard work,
but worth it in the end. Don't know why I did that.
I liked it though. Let's leave it there. That's the perfect note to finish it. Thank you for listening to episode 18. Come and message us, say hi, and you could be on the podcast next week.
We're going to have this racist chocolate bar.
Racist chocolate to go. Thanks for listening. Bye. Ta-ra now.
It's time to open your mind, expand your outlook, and occasionally soil yourself with delight.
This is the NTR podcast with Dylan Evans and Graeme Smith.